Hello guys, this is leathertoolz. Today I'm going to show you a Korean leather knife. This is Japanese style. I believe this knife design comes from Japan, but this is made in Korea once. I believe it says this is a shell clam, and this is river, so it's a clam river, shell river. I don't know what it means together, but just what it says. It's in Korean. It's a Pae-Chun. This is a very soft side steel. I think it's a 1075 spring steel. I believe they don't specify what steel they use, but this is more like a soft steel, and it's not laminated. Okay, it's a one-piece steel. Same on here, in here. It's a simple soft wood, and there's a aluminum pin going through here to here. I think it's holding the pin. Holding the blade. So there's a tang here, and there's a hole in the blade, so you can nail the aluminum pin so that it holds the blade securely. Okay, and this ferrule is a rubber or plastic type thing. I think it's to lower the cost down of the knife. This is left-handed. There are a few companies who makes Korean leather knives, but this is the only company which produce the left-handed leather knives. I chipped a blade out the tip a little bit, but I had no problem using it because it's just really easy to sharp blade. This is more like a soft side, like I said. So many workers in Korea who makes shoes or bags, they sharpen this with the sandpaper, just simply, just rubbing it into the flat stone and sandpaper, and they just sharpen it so easily. Okay, but it has a very clean fit into the wood though. There are no lots of gaps between the wood and the blade, so I think they made a pretty good job. This is 36 millimeter wide, so this is more like a traditional very simple type. I haven't seen they produce 24 mil thick for 24 millimeter width for left-handed, but I have lots of 24 millimeter for left-handed, so it's okay. Now this knife is very cheap. I got this for about $5. Okay, and a lot of Korean workers use this specific brand because they're cheap. Like I said, they're easy to replace and they're easy to sharpen. This blade dulls out quickly. It's a soft steel, so it also wears out quickly, but you can make it razor sharp again with a very little effort. Okay. Traditionally, Koreans don't really use, leather workers don't really use water stones because they're too much hassle for their work. They have to produce a lot. So what they're doing is they just use sandpaper. 2000 grit is their final polish on their knife, but with this knife, it's more than enough for sharpening to the scary edge. So lots of woodworkers in Korea, they use Japanese stones a lot, water stones a lot. They sharpen to the certain standard to shape their wood. But a lot of leather workers in Korea still prefer to use sandpapers because they're so cheap and easy to use, and they're not messy, they're fast. So combinations with this knife it's just absolutely amazing. Okay, I use this knife for just a hard work, or a just, you know, simple job, because I don't want to ruin the edge of my expensive knives. But I can just use this knife without any of the worry about the edge, because I can easily regrind the edge, or I can just simply buy newer ones because it's so cheap. The problem I had is that this part is wore off. I sharpened this on a Japanese waterstone. I flatten down like this and I sharpen it, and the angle somehow, to me, that it touches the Japanese stone, so it ground some portion. If this was a brass, I'll be so sad about this happening. It's something that you should consider when you make knives. If your handle is too thick and the portion of the blade length is too short, it will eventually get short when you use it. And then it's like when you use the blade to the certain point, this part touches the sandpaper or the Japanese waterstone. So you should, you know, consider the thickness of the handle, that it should be thin enough for not touching it on the sandpaper, and you should be able to, you know, grab it with your hand very comfortably. So it's something that you should consider if you're a tool user and tool maker. A lot of tool makers don't consider that, and just to, you know, just make it fancy, and they think they made a great tool, but it's not actually. So okay, this was the Pae-Chun, and it's just a simple, cheap leather knife that Korea produces still for left-handed and for the leather workers. It's popular among to the heavy users, or the workers in the industry, you know, who makes leather products for their living. Handle is it was white, but a lot of metal debris and the hand oil stains and other gunk built up on the handle, so it's very dirty right now. But it doesn't look like this when you first buy it. You know, if you know, this is very, you know, simple carbon steel. Yeah, it is indeed carbon steel. It rusts easily if you don't take care of. But very simple knife. Yep. Okay, that was about it. I will talk to you guys in next video. Bye bye.